Bom dia, estamos aqui novamente, tivemos alguns problemas técnicos, mas já resolvemos, e agora vamos retornar à nossa programação. Tem um pouquinho de problemas tecnológicos quando a gente fala em conversar com o outro lado do planeta, mas acho que a gente conseguiu superar. Hello, Preethaji. We have some minor technical issues. Sometimes it happens when we try to connect the other side of the planet with us. So I'm guessing with no further delay, we can go ahead and hear you. Once again, thank you very much for being so patient and allowing us the time to talk.
Wonderful. I'm glad we're able to connect, so I shouldn't complain. So I was talking about we living in very critical and uncertain times. And therefore it becomes all the more important for everyone to preserve your physical health, your emotional health, and your mental health. And it is also a critical time to focus on longevity of everything, of your body, of your relationships, of your organizations, and your teams. Today's world, everything is short-lived. Your careers, your passions, your relationships, your organizations, everything is short-lived. You can also see fashion is short-lived, trends are short-lived, styles are short-lived, everything, phones, computers, everything is short-lived. And I was also trying to tell how the earth itself is becoming short-lived because of us. We are burning her forests, her trees, her water, her soil. Oftentimes, we believe these things to be short-lived because of circumstances, but many times it is because of your way of thinking itself. I would say a vast majority of the population of the world have become a myopic generation who do not care for tomorrow, who do not care as to what we are doing to ourselves and what we are doing to our earth. If everything is short-lived, one thing nice is probably there's a lot of variety, but everything is constantly changing. Along with this excitement of constant change, please know what is coming along with you in your life is inner stress, and inner stress to adapt to the new. Along with the thrill of constant change comes a deep meaninglessness, because you really do not know what you are living for. You do not know for whom you are living. Along with this entertaining change all the time, there is a feeling of insecurity that creeps into our being, because you now cannot hold on to anything. And you also do not have a sense of belonging anywhere. Are you able to understand? It is a problem of a civilization itself. Let me talk to you about the longevity of the body today. World over, people want to go on living longer and longer. They also want to live forever youthful. But I wouldn't say it is a new desire. I would say this is a very old craving. About 3000 BC, before Christ, 3000 years before Christ in India, an Ayurvedic scientist tried a methodology called Kaya Kalpa to increase lifespan and to enhance youthfulness. The people who worked on increasing their longevity were not people who wanted to enjoy endless pleasures, But they were sages who lived very long to meditate, who lived long to achieve enlightenment, to achieve a spiritual realization, who lived long, we can say, to serve humanity. Today, I will lead you into 6 spiritual keys for longevity, because this is Fierce Festival for Wellness. Are you all willing to explore? Thank you. The first spiritual key is the breath. Do you know about 80% of your body's toxins are expelled through breath each time you exhale? And most people don't realize the mystic dimension of breath. Certain kinds of yogic breathing can act as the greatest purifier of the accumulated pollution, which is called ama in Sanskrit, the accumulated pollution in your body. It can also act as a revitalizer. Breath, we can say, is like a wind that causes the fire at your navel to blaze. And this fire at the navel is called Jatragni. In your energy body, there is a fire at your navel region. A proper burning of this fire causes vitality. A dull Jatragni or dull fire becomes, we can say, the starting point of diseases. It becomes a starting point of aging. There are many other forms of breathing. Let me teach you a simple form of breathing that can set you on the road of longevity and youthfulness, because I feel this is the first key for longevity. So breathe through your nose, not through your mouth. Your lips are going to be sealed. I want you to breathe as slowly as possible. Your breath should flow into the entirety of your lungs. And as you're breathing, as you're inhaling, let your awareness be on the chest and your lungs. And when you exhale, your navel should go towards your spine very slowly. Would you like to do this breathing with me then? Sit still. Your spine erect. Close your eyes. Seal your lips. Do your breath. Take a few moments. Even as you bring attention to your breath, the intention of slowing it will slow. Let your breath be noiseless. Now, while inhaling, bring attention to your lungs and chest. Let them expand. While exhaling, bring attention to your navel region. Allow your stomach to cave in towards your navel. You may slowly open your eyes. This is abdominal breathing. If you can do this practice for a minimum of 1 mandala cycle every day, I can say you would certainly add years to your body, as also you will add a greater vitality to your body. A mandala is 48 times, and a mandala is a complete cycle. It is the time your brain and your body takes to recognize and assimilate a change. And mandala is like the time a seed takes to settle into the earth and the time that it takes to emerge as a sprout. Just 1 second, please. There is a disturbance here. Let me give you the second spiritual key. This is around eating. You must see the entire process of eating as a sacred offering that you're making to your Jataragni, or the fire at your navel. You offer measured food into the sacred fire to keep it burning steadily. You can't dump food into the sacred fire, or you can't starve the fire. Why am I saying this? It means you eat with awareness, you eat in a measured manner, and the entire process of eating is very sacred experience. This process of eating becomes sacred, I can say, when eating becomes a meditation, or we can at least do or begin the eating with a meditation. At least 1 meal in a day, you begin with a meditative reflection of the entire universe going into making that grain or that spoon of food. When I say the entire universe, really the entire universe. The sun, the moon, the rains, the cloud, the farmer, the earthworm, the chef, everything. The whole universe is coming to make you that spoon of food, that plate of food. And as you meditate on this, you thank the universe for bringing such precious food to you. When you move into the space of gratitude towards the entire universe, know that your stomach moves into a space of great coherence. And as the stomach moves into the space of great coherence, it digests the food you eat, and it gives you health, it gives you vitality, and it gives you longevity. Trust me, meditative eating is one of the greatest cures for all eating disorders. The third spiritual key to longevity is a meditative movement like a swan. As human beings, we have walked across great distances for centuries. And I would say as a species, we walk a period of 16 to 20 kilometers in a day in our travels across the continents. That is how we lived as a species. When you walk meditatively, when I say like a swan, when you walk steadily, when you walk with great awareness of nature around you, when you walk with joy in your heart and your brain align. And what happens in this meditative walk is you activate the ancient genetic programming for longevity. So get off your couch and move with awareness. These are pretty simple, right? Breathing with awareness, movement with awareness, and eating with your heart filled with gratitude towards the universe for bringing that food to you that particular day. The fourth spiritual key for longevity is a heart-centered purpose. I want you to listen to me very carefully now. Longevity is given by the universe only for those who have something or someone to care for. It can be an animal, it can be a plant, it can be a garden, or it can be a forest, or a person, an individual, a family, a community, or it could be love for the divine. And hence, wanting to make a difference to the world. Remember that the universe or the divine will give you insurmountable courage and strength to fight through even a life-threatening disease if you have a purpose. And such a purpose comes to you. When you have the purpose, the support comes to you from every cell of your body. Not if it is an ambition to prove to someone, not if it is an ambition to defeat someone, not if it is an ambition to fulfill your own personal glory. Are you able to see the difference between an ambition and a purpose? A purpose is where you want to create a difference to another life. Let me give you an example from nature to understand this very important principle. In most animal species, the female passes away after menopause. There are two species which lives long after menopause. One is the human species, and the other is the orcas. They survive long after menopause because both the human and the orca grandmothers, I would say, are absolutely important for the survival of the grandchildren. And it is too obvious that the nature only supports those who have a higher purpose. Nature loves intelligence. Nature loves connected beings. It is only when you are filled with a purpose a purpose born of love to make a difference, that is when your genes turn on the programming for aging slowly, not otherwise. If you want to live long, if you want to live youthful, please understand you need to live your life with a purpose. I'm sorry. Only then you have those genes that get expressed for you to live longer and live a youthful life. The fifth spiritual key is to live in the present, which means you need to die to the pain of your past. You need to die to the anxieties of your future, which means you should go through periodic processes that will dissolve the pain, that will dissolve the stress of your past, and will also liberate you from the anxieties of the future. You should also eliminate addictions. You need to break old habits. Addictions and minds convey to the mind and the body that you are old. Addictions and habits convey to the mind that you have aged. It could be an addictive habit of, say, smoking. It could be an addictive habit of drinking, overeating, or gambling. It could also be a compulsive habit emotionally of anger, a compulsive habit of moving into anger, moving into sadness, moving into gossip, or moving into lying. I want you to recognize your habits, and I want you to surrender them to the universal intelligence. I want you to recognize your worries and anxieties and dissolve them in this calming force of meditation. At the end of the conversation today, I will teach you the serene mind practice. But is a calm state of mind the end? Calm state of mind, that is something most meditation apps would like us to believe. But I would say that calming your mind is only the beginning of a spiritual journey. The calming of mind is not the end of it. So there is a long journey for you to go ahead. The sixth spiritual journey or the spiritual key for longevity is silencing thought noise. Continuous conflicting thinking ages you like nothing else does. You may lounge on a sofa. You probably are in the most scenic of spaces, doing nothing intellectually or physically. But yet, there is a possibility that you are becoming absolutely fatigued because of the continuous thought noise. Thoughts are like weeds that choke the life out. The weeds actually choke the fruit-bearing trees in the garden, right? Same thing, the thoughts are like the weeds to you. And if you do not bring attention to your thoughts, if you do not bring attention to your thoughts, these thoughts have a way of growing on you. These thoughts have a way of becoming unpleasant emotions. And these unpleasant emotions are what I call as suffering states. These suffering states can turn into becoming obsessive over a period of time. And when your thinking becomes obsessive, you become absolutely disconnected from life. When your thinking becomes obsessive, you become disconnected from people, from nature, from the early morning sun, from the universe, from the divine. You become totally disconnected from everything and everybody else. One of the most important keys for longevity is silencing your inner thought noise. And it is to become liberated from your inner suffering or your unpleasantness. In ancient Indian methodologies of Hatha Yoga, Ayurveda, ancient Indian methodology of Bharatanatyam, and even astrology, it was to push every human being to liberation from the clutches of the mind, which they called Jivan Mukti. All ancient sciences were only focused on mukti. It was only focused on liberation. In fact, Sri Krishnaji and I belong to a lineage of 7 generations of sages, all of whose focus were on pushing humanity towards enlightenment. Enlightenment is awakening to your true nature, which is beyond the mind. The ancient sages echoed when they said, listen to us. Then they said, you are children of immortal bliss. Wake up. When they said, you're not just your past. You are not your gender, your age, your past. You are not your beliefs. You are not your emotions. You are not your numerous identities. Beyond all this illusory net of the mind is a freedom, is a bliss, is a peace. And that is your true nature. And it is possible for every human being who seeks to wake up to that true nature. It is possible for them to experience it. And that is our vision, the vision of Ekam, the World Center for Enlightenment. Going beyond the mind to the true nature of consciousness definitely needs an altogether a different process. Firstly, it needs a very powerful mystic awakening to the universal intelligence or the divine within you. The universal intelligence as an inner guide will become your compass on your journey to awakening. Awakening to a quiet mind also requires you to go through deeper processes that will elevate your kundalini from your Mooladhara to the Sahasrara or the crown chakra. You will need a Shakti path. You will need a certain amount of cleansing of your destructive unconscious, which contains what we call as the samskaras or the latent tendencies that keeps you chained in ignorance. That is why I lead people, though in this time of crisis when I'm not able to travel and not able to meet people physically, I still lead people through the 5 awakenings and online journey to open you to states beyond the mind, where you have a personal direct connection with the universal intelligence or the divine. You receive the path for raising your kundalini and cleansing your destructive unconscious samskaras. Anyone here who's seeking to go beyond the mind, I would say you must make it to the 5 awakenings. That would be a journey for you. If you are an entrepreneur, our vision for you is to make you into a Buddha who is driving a Benz with your loved ones, which means one who lives with an awakened consciousness, which means When I say Buddha driving the Benz, which means one who lives in an awakened consciousness, at the same time manifests all the abundance of the world. I teach people the way to manifest synchronicities of abundance. I don't stop it there, from a magnificent state of consciousness. Remember that an awakened entrepreneur's staying power in the face of stress, I would say, is infinitely more powerful than one who succumbs to pressure. I want you to remember an awakened entrepreneur's intuition is much more accurate in the face of challenges than the ones who's fighting the ghost of his or her own fears. So I would recommend every one of you to pursue abundance from an awakened consciousness. If you are passionate about becoming a Buddha driving a Benz, I would say join me in the online events that I lead for millions every month. It has been a joy being with you, but definitely I would love to lead you into a practice, a serene mind practice, a practice which calms your amygdala. Amygdala is that region in your brain, which is a center for flight or fight center of your brain. With the serene mind practice, what happens is you dissolve your inner conflict. With the serene mind practice, you come to a space of calm, regardless of the situation that you are placed in. And remember, it is just calm mind is just the beginning of your spiritual journey. There is a lot more that you need to immerse in. There is absolute need for actually discovering a great purpose, experiencing a deeper connection with life and people, and experiencing a beautiful purpose for your life, moving into a space of great silence, of thinking, an ability to cleanse your being of your past so that you are able to live your present with a greater awareness and a greater joy in your being. So let us begin this journey, I can say, with the serene mind practice, and just know that you can get back to doing this practice as many times as possible. Sit still like a rock. Place your hands on your thighs, palms facing up. Gently close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathe with total attention. Inhale fully and deeply, and exhale slowly and completely. Now observe your mind until you discover the exact emotion you're feeling within you. Continue to breathe deeply. Watch your feelings until you're able to recognize and name the emotion you're experiencing. Are you experiencing loneliness, sadness, irritation, frustration? Or are you experiencing calm, love, joy, connection? Observe the direction of the flow of your thinking as this emotion is arising within you. Are you obsessing over the past? Are you projecting a chaotic future? Or are you in the present moment? Imagine a tiny flame at the center of your eyebrows and see this flame move inward to the middle of your brain. Envision this flame floating in the middle of your brain. Bring a smile onto your face. And you may slowly open your eyes whenever you are ready. Thank you. You have just completed the serene mind practice. People who practice this meditation tend to feel an immediate calm and probably growing calm over the days. If you are someone who's encountering a stressful day, I would say please go ahead and do the serene mind practice even 4 to 5 times a day. It is short, but you will see the impact very quickly. You will have become very clear, you will have become quiet, and you will have become decisive. So let there be calm in your mind. Let there be calm in the minds of your loved ones. Let there be calm in the world around you. Thank you so much.
Namaste,
It is a
Preethaji.
joy.
It was a joy receiving this practice with you. We are very glad, and we are gonna make it available, some further material, this practice as a gift from the Preethaji team, from the Peak Consciousness School, and soon everyone who enjoyed this presentation and enrolled in the event are gonna receive. It's a gift from all of us, and it was a gift to have this conversation with you. So I'm glad we could do it. We have some minor technical difficulties, but that's just to show the greatness of the experience. With no struggle, there's no greatness. It's all part of the process, right? So it's so nice, and thank you very much. We're gonna follow up with our normal programmation, and thanks a lot for being here. Namaste, Preethaji.
Namaste. So wonderful, and would like to definitely thank everybody once again. Paulo and Alex and Mariana. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Namaste.
Namaste. Pessoal, vamos continuar com a nossa programação. Vocês todos que se inscreveram vão receber um kit aqui, um kit que é um presente do time da Preethaji e do nosso CJE com a Fiesp, com algumas imagens, links e essa prática da mente serena que será disponibilizada para vocês que se inscreveram no evento. Tá bom? Passo a palavra agora e agradeço muito a presença de todos no nosso evento. Tenho muita gratidão por ter tido essa oportunidade, por ter conversado com vocês e por ter trazido uma mensagem tão positiva. Então, nas palavras de Preethaji, Namastê a todos.